Welcome to this channel. My name is Lavanya and I'm a qualified chartered accountant. I've cleared all my exams in the first attempt and I also hold a rank in CA Foundation. The topic for today's video is actually on how to score the highest possible marks that you can. What is my preparation for my CA Foundation accounts? To give you perspective, I actually scored a 93 in my CA Foundation accounts, and these were some of the strategies that I used. The first thing that you need to observe is that your CA Foundation accounts, if you're a commerce student, matches a lot with your 12th grade portions, right? Your 11th and 12th grade portions. And actually, the cherry on the cake is it's much easier than what your 12th grade portion is. So for me, that actually acted as a boon where I did not have to specifically prepare for my CA Foundation accounts right from scratch because I had commerce in 11th and 12th. So what I did was I realized that your institute material is at a much lower standard than what you and the toughness that you have in your 11th and 12th. That was just one observation of mine, and I think it's the only time in your CA journey where you will ever say that your institute material was much easier. So what I did was while I was solving questions, I solved all the questions from the PS Grade 1 textbook. Those of us who come from an accounts background would have used this in our 12th grade. So ensure you keep those textbooks safely, your 11th and 12th grade textbooks, and solve the questions from there. The second point is to solve your institute material. A lot of us, when we're just entering into our CA journey, we actually tend to ignore the institute material and do other coaching institute material. But when you go to the paper itself, almost all the questions come directly from the illustrations and from the back questions in the institute material. So ensure that you solve all the questions in the institute material, and if there are some tricky adjustments, you ensure you mark them. See, the thing with accounts is that the numbers can change and the questions that can come can change, but the adjustments that are there are quite limited. So if you take it from an examiner's perspective and solve as many adjustments as you can and solve as many questions, at the end of the day, there are no new questions, or maybe max 5 to 7 marks of new questions come up. This was the second thing that I've done. Now, the third thing is that when you're writing the accounts paper itself, at a foundation level, it is very important that there is cleanliness in the paper. So, draw your lines, write the rupees sign, write, balance sheet as on date, etc. Because this cleanliness shows to the examiner that, okay, they know what they're doing. Try to cut as less as possible. The aesthetics of this actually has a big impact on, the correctors and the examiner's mindset itself. So you're giving them a positive mindset. Now, the fourth thing that I would say is if you are stuck in a question while solving your paper during the exam, ensure that you don't spend too much time on it. The thing is your final answer in accounts holds 1.5 to maximum 2 marks. So make sure you're optimizing for the most amount of marks by attempting the most number of questions. This actually guarantees you that you attempt at least 100 out of 100 marks out of the paper, right? Rather than getting stuck on the first question and trying to get that final answer. So these were the 4 broad tips that I would give and strategies that I had used, which actually helped me score and actually push my score in accounts. I hope this helped, and I will see you all in future videos.